perfection and everything having to look exactly perfectly glossed. And just I think in culture, in all facets of culture, in sports, you have to be the best athlete and you have to be the perfect actor and the perfect speaker as a politician. And I think that has a huge impact because, women in Sports Illustrated have to be this size and have this breast size, or, they have to be this color hair and this height. And I think in a lot of pop culture, that's kind of what's pushed, and it's not be okay with who you are, it's look like this, be like this.
Well, I'd be lying if I said it didn't. I think it definitely plays a big role on, how I wear my makeup and when I wear my makeup and the different styles that I use. That being said, I don't think that it dictates my life at all. I think that I pay attention to the media to get inspiration, not necessarily to, if I'm not confident in myself and it dictates what I wear that way.
I guess more so when I was little, the media had more of an impact on how I wanted to do my makeup. And you would look up to these women in these magazines and the makeup that they were wearing. But of course, when I was 13, 14, I had no idea what I was doing when applying makeup. I just think the way the media perceives makeup in general and how women do wear makeup takes a big impact and role on younger girls because they look up to these women.
I think that while they have been pushing perfection, at the same time, a couple people have kind of figured out a way to make themselves more interesting by not being that perfect person necessarily. A person that comes to mind is Jennifer Lawrence, because I don't know, obviously she's a really beautiful person, but at the same time she's kind of quirky and weird and falls down and does kind of funny stuff. So I think while there is this kind of big atmosphere of being that perfect specimen, it also makes a way for other people who aren't as perfect to kind of stand out.
So it's easier for me to take the media's perception of beauty with a grain of salt because I see so little diversity in beauty's representation. There's basically only a couple of body types that are represented in magazines, TV, and movies. There's only there's a severe lack of racial and ethnic diversity in the media, but especially magazines, on runways too. And because of that, because I know just from those facts alone that media's representation of beauty doesn't actually mirror reality, it's easier for me to just take what I want from what it presents.
I think seeing in magazines, TV, and movies, the ideal person is kind of makes me think oh, should I look like that? But I think going to Westridge, they are really informative that everyone is beautiful and it's just about how you feel about yourself. And as for makeup use, I wouldn't really say that media impacts my makeup use. I just kind of do what I want.
It seems kind of strange that, there's this amount of pressure that may or may not be put on people to look a certain way or to aspire to look unrealistically perfect as women are portrayed sometimes in magazines, and makeup is unnatural. People make it, it shouldn't have to define someone's beauty.
People use makeup in order to feel better about themselves in some cases, or if they want to dress up for one night, or just to look presentable or cover up any blemishes they have on their face. I also think it can be used to express themselves as well. I also think makeup is another use of an art form that people use on their face. So I think a number of reasons people use makeup is just personal preference.
I think people use makeup for a variety of things. The biggest and most obvious one probably being self-confidence. Especially going through puberty, we all break out. I'm sure Cover Up has been there for me, and I'm sure it's going to be there for another teenage girl down the line. But I think once you kind of come into knowing yourself a little bit more, it becomes more something that you just choose stylistically. I like to wear a lot of eyeliner, but I hardly hardly ever wear like any blush or bronzer. Like, I don't know, I think it's more of a personal thing at a certain point. But when you're first introduced to makeup, I think it's more of a, for me at least, it was more of like, oh, we all can use makeup now, and like it was exciting to be like a grown-up girl and use makeup. But I think the older you get, it becomes more of a personal thing, and definitely it's probably more self-confidence based.
I wish I knew why other people did things, but I would have to say that people all have their reasons. I know some people that use makeup because they feel that they need to and they feel uncomfortable not wearing makeup. Other people that I know use makeup because it's like a personal preference and it's a fun thing to do.
I think people wear makeup. Some people are insecure and they want to cover up, but I also think that some people they want to look striking maybe and kind of pop out. And I think when I see it, especially when I see like a girl who kind of has like that striking look, like it makes me interested to talk to them. And so I think that's kind of one of the reasons that people want to wear makeup.
I think makeup is a personal thing. Like if you know you're gonna do it to make yourself feel better, or if you're doing something where you're gonna be in front of a lot of people, it could be like a confidence thing.
I think people use makeup for a lot of different reasons. I personally use it because I think it's really fun, and I think from an artistic approach, I enjoy the application process, and it really is something that I enjoy. Other people may use it to cover up certain things. I think it really just depends on the person and their circumstances.
I mean, depending on the setting, I think it might be necessary, but I don't think it's necessary all the time. I think people should just be more happy with how they look normally and just try and be themselves.
It's very personal. There isn't, I don't think you really need to justify why you want to wear makeup or not. It just is what it is.
As you can see, I really don't wear that much makeup. I don't know, personally for me I love to, but I just don't really find the time to kind of put on makeup, and also I haven't really learned how to do it, so I think that's something that I'd like to learn how to do in the future, especially for college, because I feel like I need to look somewhat presentable when I go off to class. I probably want to learn how to, I don't know, apply eyeliner or eyeshadow. It shouldn't be that difficult, but I find it quite difficult.
I definitely use makeup. My makeup usage sort of scatters around whenever I feel like I have more time. I always try to set a precedent to myself to start wearing makeup at the beginning of the school year, and it never really works out because I just get tired, and it's not really a big deal when I don't wear makeup. I think that that's an important thing to note, because it's more of an additive thing that's I don't know, makes me feel good, but it doesn't make me feel bad when I don't wear it.
Yes, I use makeup kind of a lot. It really depends, because at school I don't typically wear makeup, but I do wear makeup sometimes. I really enjoy the way I look with makeup on. That being said, I don't rely on that. I think that I'm fine looking. But it's really fun to me. I like to watch makeup YouTube videos to learn different techniques, and I like to just learn more about it as an art form and stuff like that, because I think that when done properly, it can be really beautiful. And yeah.
So when I cheer is probably, like I said, when I wear the most makeup, just because a lot of people are looking at you when you're in the stands, and you're down there on the field. But I think cheerleaders wear it to be an eye-catching thing.
I wear makeup during shows because it really brings out your features in the bright lights, and I don't know, I guess it makes you stand out in a certain way compared to other people, and I guess that's probably why people wear makeup every day, not just during shows, because they don't want to get that special look compared to everybody else.
I do use makeup. I don't use makeup that frequently because I don't like taking it off very much, but I think it's really fun, and I think it's sort of I like clothing as well, so they kind of go hand in hand. I like wearing glitter and things that are sparkly, and I like lipstick because it's all just really fun for me. I do use makeup. I love makeup. I think it's a great way to kind of like dress yourself up. The one makeup thing that I do use every day is cover up. That's very personal to me. I have had very bad skin since 7th grade, and I'm very self-conscious about it, so it's kind of a way for me to cover it up. Probably earlier in my years when I started wearing makeup, 13, 14, it was like black eyeliner and mascara and maybe a little bit of eyeshadow, but I never really knew how to apply it. But during the weekend, I love being able to like have a completely fresh, clean face and applying like a nice wing to the side and some eyeshadow and some mascara, and because you do look different, and I think you look older, and I think you look a little bit more presentable. And I think it's a great way for girls to kind of embrace themselves.
I think I use makeup pretty regularly. Like most girls, I don't really wear it to school, but I also don't get too into it. I only know how to use eyeliner pretty much, and like I'll occasionally wear lipstick, like today. But aside from that, I don't really venture out into buying a lot of stuff.
I use makeup, but not every day. I wear it on weekends or like going to parties or special events. I don't like to wear makeup at school just because I don't feel the need to. Usually when I wear makeup, it's when I want to look more put together, or I don't know. When I'm not wearing makeup, I look like I'm asleep. So I think that when I do wear makeup, it kind of makes me feel better about myself and that I look like more presentable to the people that are looking at me.
The media necessarily hasn't influenced the use of how I wear my makeup. I just wear my makeup based on how I'm feeling, whatever I feel like wearing that day, or even if I wear makeup at all.
It could just be like something fun to do, like people put on weird clothes that make them feel a certain way, because makeup could be the same way.
Personal. It's just depending on how you want to use your makeup. It's comfort.
So another thing is that makeup is used most often to like kind of help perfect the image or like add to the story or the character that it's portraying. So I think in that way you have to kind of take it into consideration, because even when I perform in theater, like I've played men multiple times, and so I've had to wear makeup specifically to make me more masculine looking. So it's one of those things where I don't know, makeup has a variety of purposes, and the most often that we consider when thinking about makeup is beauty purposes, but it also like has a lot of practical uses. Like makeup was invented, especially by the Egyptians who use it a lot, like for very practical purposes of trying to like keep the sun out of your face and the glare out of the sun out of your eyes. So I don't know, I think where it started and where it is now is a lot different. I think the purpose of makeup isn't necessarily to be beautiful.
I think people use it to express themselves, to sort of jazz up their style or their day. Sometimes taking an extra moment to look into the mirror and do something conscious with the way that you decide to present yourself can really make you feel like you're taking care of yourself. It's like little me time in the mirror before you go out and face the day.